Right, so this is our fourth attack pattern and our last attack pattern. There are three stages to this attack pattern called tank. The first one is when we are attacking inside the 5 meter and we need to get across the game line. Physically, we want to attack vertically in tight numbers. The second one is when you are physically dominant over a team and you understand that your game does not need to be wide and you can play a tight pattern. And the third aspect of tanked is when your players are fatigued. They do not have the front foot. They're playing a retreating game, and you need to figure out how to secure the breakdown with lots of numbers in a tight space. Either kick the ball out, matriculate a penalty, or figure out a way to get a substitution in there. So for this demonstration, we are attacking the 5 meter, and we have the front foot. The first thing we see is outside shoulder defensive pressure from the defense. The sweeper will be filling the line in normal sevens defensive patterns to try to create an isolation, a 2-on-1 on an attacking player that wants to drift wide here. So 6 and 7 can't really drift wide. They are going to pressure the outside shoulder and force a step. So we're going to use a good skilled player at the 6 position or even the 5 position if they want to work together in tandem to step inside and get to the inside shoulder of the covering sweeper that's stepping into the line. So they need to have their eyes up and see where the sweeper fills that line. So normally the sweeper has filled the line and we have our attacking player 6 stepping inside. We now have a defensive 5 versus 4, which is not advantageous to us. We've got to have the player who had the restart at the breakdown, number 3, pursue laterally across the line. He must or she must get into the situation with 4, 5, and 6. And 6 at this point needs to attack the gain line into a position that puts 4 and 5 at depth so they can really attack these 2 defenders. Also, if you notice at the breakdown, attackers 1 and 2 have held the defenders A and B down at the breakdown. So we would preferably hold 1 or 2 of those defenders on the ground, or at least contest their ability to get back onto their feet. This is a touchy subject. Likely the referee will be watching the ball, and the AR will probably be watching any sort of extra business at the breakdown. But it's important to hold this player down as much as possible and just really make it tough for them defensively to get back into the game. So at this point, we'll talk about what 4 and 5 do. We want to vertically attack this 2-on-2 situation. 6 right here probably has a lot of pressure and needs to relieve the ball. And again, 1 and 2 are still causing some problems there at the breakdown. Don't make it easy for those people getting up off the ground and trying to get back into play. Number 3 is now in a position to support on the short side of the field, and number 6 is in a position to support on the wide side of the field. But if you look at the numerical advantage, obviously we want to head back towards the breakdown on the weak side. This is efficient in terms of our lines of run and efficient in terms of the speed at the breakdown. So 4 and 5 can attack this any way they want with a pop pass, a maul, any sort of violent contact where both of them direct their force in between the 2 defenders to push them back. Potentially the sweeper G could fill in behind, but likely they're all going to be tight at that breakdown and try to hold that up. So what we can do is just identify the recycle locations, number 3 or number 6, depending on what defenders B and G do. They can recycle left or recycle right, but likely we are going to be recycling back to where the breakdown came from. And so that's where 6 needs to step into the line, who just was our stepper and our decision maker and our pivot point for the attack, and restart that ball to number 3. Number 3 here, it's simple math. It's 3-on-2. We have consumed 2 defenders that are still on the ground near the gain line, if not scoring. At this point, it is a foregone conclusion that we need to score on tank. Now, if This is the second option, and we are looking to restart. From here, 1, 2, and 3 can try to press the ball wide, and we can recycle with 4, 5, and 6 to stretch the defense. Hopefully they'll break in the middle and we can attack the middle. If this is in the middle of the field and players are retreating, at this point, it would be likely, it'd be wise to kick the ball away to relieve some pressure.